Have you ever had that feeling that something was just screaming at you to do a thing? A thing that would totally change your life and career, but that would be super hard to go through with? Of course you had. We're all human. We all have those moments. Meet Patrick. Patrick was that moment for me. I met him at my cousin's farmer's market, and I was immediately blown away by just how interesting and photogenic he was. I mean, as soon as I saw this guy with that crazy beard and those wise eyes of an old man, all the details and intricacies of his face, I knew this was the shot I was waiting for. I mean, come on, every street photographer I've ever seen takes pictures of this guy, of people just like this. And I knew if I were to go down the photography path, I knew that it was right then, right there, with this guy, with Patrick. The problem is that if you've ever done something new and intimidating before, which obviously you have if you're a living thing, then you'll know that things like this can be hard at best and terrifying at worst. This was somewhere in the middle. I was so excited I could barely keep it together. I mean, the entire good hour or so that Patrick was at our booth and walking around the farmer's market, it was all I could think about. All I could think about was I was obsessed with getting this shot. It was all I could talk about too.
From the moment you started trying to take fake photos of him, or photos of him through other things, without him noticing, which didn't work, you really, and I don't know how long before that, that's when I started noticing. You were really, that's all you could think about, no matter what. Even playing League of Legends, you wouldn't, you still kept thinking about taking pictures of Patrick.
But I didn't lose. I still won.
Yeah, yep, always. Yeah, but there was no getting your mind off of it.
If it weren't for Joshua, I don't think I would have taken the picture. I don't think I would have grabbed the shot that completely changed my game, but this was more than just a good shot to me. In an attempt to make things as stressful as possible, I added a very simple but very big goal, and very intimidating as goals tend to be. I told myself that as soon as I started walking, as soon as I took that first step, and then the next, and then the next, then I would think of myself as a photographer.
This is your chance to be a real photographer. If you do not take this shot, you'll be throwing away your life as a photographer. Obviously this wasn't true, but pep talks, they're never true. So he kept saying, this is your chance to be a photographer, and if you don't take it, you lose your chance. If you take this shot and ask Patrick to take a photo of him, you will forever remember this moment as when you became a real photographer.
After that, I spent about as much time looking at the pavement 5 feet in front of me as I did at Patrick. I knew now that the cost of not getting the shot was a lot bigger than just missing a couple pictures on my Instagram. You know how there's something special about just doing something? No planning, no preparation, just doing it, just going. There was something special about just walking. I remember I was in the middle of thinking when my leg moved. I was thinking about my future and the implications of walking and how to incorporate photography into my life, and what would college be like if I had to change my major basically right out of the gate, and what happened to my scholarship, and nothing really. I was already moving by then. The choice was made, almost without me even meaning to make it. I took the first step and the next, until I finally got close enough to Patrick to wave him down with a friendly smile and start shouting to him. Yeah, Patrick was hard of hearing. It wasn't really a problem, actually. If anything, it just made him that much more interesting. It kind of sucks because I never get to use sign language anymore, and that's just kind of salt in the wound when you take 3 years of ASL and only ever get to use it once. But it's fine. It's fine. A few poses and a minute later, I thanked him for doing this, and I was sincerely thankful. I reached out for a good handshake, not realizing that his hands were both full of grocery bags. It took like 15 seconds for his first attempt to do a left-handed handshake and then to transfer all the bags to the other hand. There's nothing worse than initiating an impossible handshake. It's just Just no. Now, normally I would edit my photos in GIMP, but that day, yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. No way was I about to wait until I got home to open up my laptop and dump all the photos in there and take care of it in GIMP. I whipped out my phone again, dumped all my photos into Lightroom, cranked my brightness all the way up to fight the daylight, and got to work. I managed to finish one in time to show Patrick before he left, which was dope. But I managed to finish the rest in time to show Joe Phineas, a pastel artist and actual real photographer who was there that day. And as it turns out, really wanted to get the same shots as me, but never got a chance to ask or to fire off any discreetly. Having that validation that my photos weren't only good, but were like professional level awesome, hands down, best feeling I have ever felt at all, ever, in any sort of career area. While there were plenty of things I could have done better with those shots, I'll always look at them and remember walking. Not the lighting, not the angle, not the background, not the white balance, not the exposure, not the ISO, maybe not even Patrick, God forbid, but I'll remember walking. I'll remember rounding the corner of the tent, speed walking over to Patrick, and not even a minute, 15 seconds later, speed walking right back. That's how I remember my shot. How will you remember yours?